Hi guys, it's Floz and this is Floz's Corner where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but sometimes I might also show you other things that I enjoy doing. In today's video, I'll be showing you what I've been up to for the month of July. If you're interested in the content, then keep watching. Today it's Sunday, 4th of August. I could have done this video last week, I guess, but just didn't feel like it, so instead I was stitching. I normally sort of film on a Saturday, but yesterday, yeah, I just wanted to stitch rather than filming. So here I am filming this video today. It has been a really nice day, so we took the dogs out early. And decided to film afterwards. So there's this narrow gap between, you know, post ambulation and they whine for food. So let's hope I can sort of snug fit in there, complete filming this video. So with my update video, I tend to divide it up into different chapters. I would show you like the haul and talk about my hobby budget and how much money I have left and how much everything costs. And also after that, I'll show you my whips. And if I have any stitching plans, I'll also tell you after my whip updates. And then it's my life update. At any point, if you find the content boring, you can just skip ahead with the chapters. And if you don't care about life updates, you can just exit early. That's fine. So in terms of my budget, last time when I talked to you, I had $209.37. And with my hobby budget, I give myself $50 every month. And last time, when did I film it? I think I filmed it towards the end of first week in July. And technically it's August, so I get another $50, but I think I'll just ignore that for now. So yeah, $209.37, and I did purchase some things. So the first bunch of stuff I purchased was from someone at the like monthly stitching meetup. There's this lady who's very crafty. Her name is Fiona. She is pregnant at the moment and she's thinking about starting her own like cross-stitch accessory Etsy shop. Nothing has been set up yet because I just confirmed with her this afternoon. I just wanted to make sure I got all the details. If she's got a shop website, I'll just include it there. But unfortunately, it hasn't been set up yet. So she will be making needle minders and also like zipper pulls and scissor fobs. Now she has been making or like I guess stocking up for a while, and she brought the stuff she has made to the stitching meetup in July, and like all the ladies were sort of going through her stuff and started buying things, and I bought a bunch of things too. So I bought a pair of zipper pulls, and I've got one already, I guess, put on the project bag, but this is the one that I haven't put on the bag yet. So it's a pair of dragons. It's just a bunch of, you know, beads and then the dragon at the end. And I put this dragon on JP's project bag. So this is this one on. He's got this universe or space project bag, and this is the little dragon on his, which looks pretty cool. Now this pair cost $10. And I think, well, at the stitching meetup, I think she was happy to like just sell you one, but technically they were sold as a pair. I'm not sure when she has her shop set up, whether it was going to be, you know, sort of sold separately or it has to be in pairs. I'm not so sure, but I bought a pair. And then I also bought a zipper pull. I also bought a scissor fob. So this one, I just put it on like a nicer pair of scissors. This is the latest pair I got. I got it last year during the Vic Stitches retreat. And it's just a little deer. Sort of like a hollow one rather than a big chunky charm, I guess you'd say. And it's got a couple of natural stones. I think that's a natural stone on there. It's not super weighty, but I think because of the natural stone, it's a bit dearer. Yeah, so this scissor fob is $12. So altogether I spent 22 bucks. And if her shop is set up, I will provide you with the details. But right now, yeah, everything's still in preparation. And then after that, I bought a bunch of stuff from Ginger Stitch AU. So that's the business card. Zane is the shop owner. And Teddy is the pet. And that's the partner. It's a very cute family. I loved patting Teddy last year at the retreat. He's so cute. And Zane sells a lot of like really well made needle minders. So I think he got famous for his needle minders. And now he's selling also like thread drops. So I guess thread drops set. And it's like acrylic ones. Now I bought these thinking they would help with one of the projects I will show you, but now I'm looking at it, I don't think so, but it doesn't really matter. So I bought one needle minder, one kind of like a needle threader, magnetic needle threader, and also 2 sets of the acrylic thread drops. I will show you the needle minder first. So this one is a jellyfish. It's just to go with one of the projects. And if you hear a dog barking, it's our neighbor's dog called Buddy, I think. He loves to, I guess you could say, prank on people. So he loves to scare you when you walk past the property. Never gets tired of it. So that's that. That is, I think that's $12. And this one, now I'm never a needle threader type of girl. But the good thing about this one is it's metal, so it can get onto your needle minder and hopefully you won't lose it. Plus it's also a dude. It's like a little, I don't know, gnome looking kind of dude. And it has like a smaller end and a bigger end. Yeah, I don't know how helpful it will be, but I'm keen to try. And this is also $12. I'm hoping the smaller and it's small enough to go into some of the finer needles, because otherwise I do need like thread licking to put the thread through. And then the 2 sets of acrylic thread drops. So that's what they look like. You get 10 in a set, and I bought 2. And each set comes with, I think it's a 2-inch metal ring as well. So there's this purpley one, and there's also, what do you call that? Not orange. Peachy one? Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Sort of peachy one. They're very pretty. To be honest, they look better in real life than on the website. Yeah, and I think this peachy one also has, can you see, like indentation on there? Unfortunately. Oh, I can open it and show you, I guess. Because there's a pattern on the front side. There we go. Yeah, it's quite nice. So for now, these are not super useful, but I'm sure I'll find a use for them. I think the logic behind this is you put the thread on there and then you use like a permanent marker to write down the number or whatever thread. And once you finish the project off, you just use ethanol or something to wipe off the marker, and you can just reuse them. So did I say these ones are $20 each set? And altogether, it was $64, but there was a shop discount of 5%. Huh? Wait. I'm confused. 10%. It was a 10% discount. Yeah, it was a 10% discount. And then it's free delivery. So it comes to $57.60. And with that, I have $129.77 left with my hobby budget. And technically in August I get another $50, but that's for another time. Just want to mention, so maybe some of you already know this, but like what I do with Etsy orders is that once you have the plan to buy something, you just chuck it in your basket. With some sellers, after the products sort of are left in your shopping cart for a little bit, maybe there's like an automatic prompt, so they might send you like a 5% or 10% discount voucher as like a motivation for you to go through with the transaction. And this is what happened with the Ginger Stitch EU's stuff. So I left the products in the cart, and then he gave me a 10% discount. Plus with his shop, there's a like free delivery within Australia if you buy over $50. So yeah, save a little bit of money. It didn't happen with some, well, I guess with some shops, but a lot of them do send you like a cheeky discount just so you'll pay for whatever you have in your cart. Yeah, so that's the end of the haul. There's not a lot, but it's more than what I thought I'd buy, to be honest. Okay, and now it's whips. This month is a bit of a special one, and as I go through the projects I will show you, you'll see why. So last time when I saw you, I said my last cross stitch update would only include the June. Even though it was like a week after in July, I wouldn't include the July one because I only stitched one day in that week. And yeah, I the first 2 weeks, I guess, of July, I was working on New Start. So this one is Enchanted Manor by, well, the artist is Josephine, I think. But it's charted by Heaven and Earth Design, so it's a HAED project. It is my first and only HAED chart that I've purchased. And I will show you the preview here. Now, if you see this, there's a lot going on. You might not recognize the chart because a lot of people have stitched like a quick stitch or a story keep. So pretty much part of the chart, rather than this whole like normal, like the whole scene. Is there something else I want to say? So now clearly I used PDF chart and I'm using markup RXP to track my progress, and the chart size is 522 by 389 stitches. And what can I tell you? I will just show you my progress, I guess. Now, I will do, because the fabric is quite large. Mind you, this fabric is actually bigger than what the chart requires, but yeah, might as well, because then it's easier to put hoop or whatever on. And this is my progress. I just started from top left because that's what works better for my brain. And yeah, I left a lot of like excess fabric. This is 1/1 on 27 count Linda, and I purchased the fabric from Lazy Daisy. Not Lazy Daisy. At first I thought I think it's Lazy Daisy. If not, I will, yeah, put all the details down in the description box. This bit is literally just a bunch of dark colors. Even though I think there should be like a koala looking creature here. You can't quite tell yet. And I am pretty much just doing like, I guess just not cross country, but like a color complete sort of thing. Just trying to complete one length of thread each time. So far it's quite enjoyable. The only thing is I can't quite tell whether this bit, like I'm already hitting that koala looking creature already. I might put the preview next to it just so you can compare, but if I am hitting it, I can't tell, so it's quite pixelated. And to be frank, I'm not super impressed with like the details yet. I wonder if I complete a bit more whether some details will stand out, but for now it's not super impressive, let's say that. But yeah, I was, like what I said, I really enjoyed working on this, and I had to force myself to stop because otherwise the whole month will be just working on this. And so far, 1/1 on 27 count, it's not too bad when you kind of not stitch in hand, but like just stitch in front of you rather than using some kind of frame. I think it will be really difficult if I want to stitch on a frame because it will be quite far away from me, then I won't be able to see. I think I'll still be able to see the holes, but I don't think I can anchor it properly because the way I anchor my thread is still like the pin stitch, and I will try to separate like each little like thread, sort of split them into two and then anchor them that way. If it's quite far away, I won't be able to see or do that at all. So yeah, so far it's been fun, and I have worked on this for 5 days, and that's 5 days of stitching in 2 weeks, and altogether 15 hours of stitching. And originally the plan was to hit 1%, but when I finally comprehended how large and how time consuming the project would get, then I just kind of gave up on hitting 1%. So I was hoping to get 0.5%, which I did hit. So right now I've stitched 1958 stitches, and that is 0.96%, almost 1%, but not quite. And in my last update video, I already showed you the threads. So a standard HAED chart has 90 colors. It's only when you go like max colors that it goes up to like 200 and whatever. So it's not too badly managed by like just having the threads on Annie's Keepers with pip and chips, like the color stickers on there. Most of these have the stickers. Some of them already have the color in other project. Then I had to like hand write on like the stickers that come with Annie's Keepers, if you know what I mean, those like round ones. Otherwise, yeah, most of the colors have the pip and chip stickers. And yeah, I have 45 colors on each metal ring, and these are 3-inch metal rings. So yeah, that's not too bad. So this one has up to the color 801, and the rest are here. And it's quite easy to find for now. And the colors don't take as much space this way. So far, yeah, it's pretty cool. I quite like this, I guess, organization system for my HAED project. And that's the first project that I worked on. And then I worked on 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓮. Now there's a story behind this. So I will show you this first. So there's the Christmas in July event, challenge, or whatever you call it. And this is 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓮. And I finished 2 already. I finished the first 2. And the plan was to work on the bear one. Okay? And it's like a kit I got for free from purchasing on Aussie Cross Stitch Stash Unload. And I don't know how easy it is to find this. But anyway, so the plan was to work on it and maybe do like a huge chunk on that bear one, and then the rest could be finished in December. And so while I was working on it, the first day, this is my progress. I think it's this way. This is my progress. I was not enjoying this at all. So this is 14 count ADA, and you're supposed to use 3 strands. Okay. So I was working on like a couple of browns here, and then I was talking to Laura from I Stitch Birds, and I said, oh, I'm working on this. I really don't enjoy it. It's so boring. Blah, 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 blah. I was just pretty much being very whiny. And then she said, didn't you already finish 2? You could just stop, you know? And then I thought, yeah, why did I have to finish all 4? I already finished 2. I could stop anytime. I could just call it a day and say, that's it. I don't want to stitch this anymore. So then it's at this stage that I go, okay, that's it. Like I'm just gonna say I finished this project. So yes, I only stitched this for a day and it was 1 hour and 20 minutes. So I'm gonna say I've finished the project altogether. I really didn't enjoy this. I think even finishing the previous two, I had to like really force myself just because you end up stitching a lot of the border and it gets really repetitive after a while. And the border just seems going on and on and on and I just didn't like it. Although the finished thing was cute. I mean, I keep showing you, but yeah. So I've decided this is no longer a whip. And that's one I finished. This one. Yeah. Oh, I think this is the one I used 2 strands instead of 3. And this is the one that's properly stitched with 3 strands. So see, they're quite cute. I'm not gonna put everything away yet because I still need to like fully finish it, and you need the threads to finish it the way the preview shows. So right now the threads and everything's still here, and it's right now in this new project bag that I got a couple months ago. So yeah, if you look at the preview, it has like the bells. It has the bells, and it's also got like this, what do you say, like a twisted cording type of thing here. So yeah, I still need to fully finish it at some point. And I can say bye-bye to this. So it's no longer an active whip. I mean, maybe there's a slim chance that one day I'll go back to it, but I don't think so. So after I fully finish the mittens, I think I'll just get rid of that piece of fabric that I stitched on and move the chart onto the pile so that I can, you know, sell the chart to someone else. And that's the second thing that I worked on. And then the next project, if you've followed me for a while, you would know that I've got this mermaid box from Chatelaine. It is my one and only Chatelaine project that I kitted up. Well, I professionally got someone, like some store, to kit up almost 2 years ago now. 2 or 3? 2021? I think it's 2022 that I kitted up. And that's what it looks like. So I got paper pattern and all the expensive crystals and pearls and fancy threads, but because it arrived really late, like way past my actual birthday, I just didn't feel like starting it, and for some reason it just sat there for almost 2 years. But yeah, I finally started it. And how about I'll show you where I'm up to first. I think so this is where I'm up to. So as you can see from the preview, it has multiple components. Clearly the money is the mermaid box, but it's like a set of things. So it also has like a scissor cover, it has a scissor fob, and I think there's also something else, I can't remember. So this is part of the scissor fob, I think. So it's quite a small thing. And this is the front of it. I'll just get it closer to you. Now, it has, so everything in this was silk. So it was very expensive to kit up, and I think a lot of this was variegated thread, so you'd have to, is it this way? Maybe it's this way. Maybe it's this way. So you have to do single cross stitch rather than, you know, going row by row or something like that. And this is my first time using Rainbow Gallery. Is it Petite Treasure Braid? The metallic. And so far I quite like it. It's very bling. Although it's not quite showing here, is it? So there's a bit of bling here and on the fish there. Oh, what can I say? So because I got the store to kit up the project for me, it not included, but it has the option of paper pattern. And at the time I thought, okay, paper pattern, that means I can sell it on once I complete it. If you're thinking about starting a chatelaine project, I do not recommend you getting paper chart. This particular paper chart is black and white. I don't know whether the PDF will be fully colored, but if it is, I highly recommend you getting the PDF chart. The only problem is it's quite expensive. Now, when I decided to start on this project, I sort of went through the whole, you know, it's almost like a booklet because it's quite thick. I kind of went through it very quick, and I realized it's quite hard to read it because some parts weren't printed very clearly, especially if it had a lot of back stitching. So the back stitching should be in different colors, which it did have a bit of colors, but it's quite hard to differentiate between all the nuances in colors. So I thought, oh, it's gonna give me a headache if I start this with paper chart. Then I went on the website and I thought, okay, I'll just buy the PDF on top of it. And then I realized it's like 40 euros. And I already spent like 500 and 600 bucks on this project, including shipping. Shipping was quite expensive. I'm not gonna spend another like 40 euros on the bloody PDF chart, so I just had to make do. But if you are going to start from fresh, I highly, highly recommend you getting the PDF chart instead. Because I have a feeling like if you want to search a particular thing, you can use like the search function to see, okay, you can jump to that specific instruction as well. I find, I don't know what chatelaine charts are like. I can only speak from my own like initial experience and also with this chart. I find the whole chart very wordy. I hate reading, okay? And I also like hate things that are not sort of logical to me. So I would appreciate instructions that are very clear, sort of this is the first step, this is the second step, and so on, rather than you have to read the whole thing to realize what you have to do. Now, you might be curious why this is like the tiniest project on a big ass fabric. I thought, I mean, this could just be me being dumb, but I thought you could just cut the fabric according to the chart, because clearly the chart shows you, you know, this is the front and the back is directly next to it. I thought, okay, I could sort of give a generous piece of fabric so I can put the front here and the back here. And then just before I wanted to start on this, I found a page that sort of shows you the layout of like different parts on this big ass piece of fabric with the size recommended. I realized, okay, the back and front should be 2 separate projects, and you need like the 3-inch rule for each side. So I've already cut my fabric, and I just had to stick to this and put one side on it. I hope that very long story made sense, but yeah, I was quite frustrated because preferably I don't want to buy an extra piece of fabric just because I didn't quite like plan where to start different things properly. But if I have to, I'll just bite the bullet. So yeah, this is why there's big ass fabric and on it there's a tiny ass project. That's why. And is there something else I want to complain about? Okay, so here I wrote, now I don't normally stitch with silks. I think if you do a lot of like samplers or what do they call it, like primitives or something, those patterns might require more silks, but if you just do normal like kit patterns or some of the modern ones, they don't tend to ask for silks. So yeah, so far the silks experience was pretty pleasant, given that I kept, so I tend to, with DMC, I tend to leave the threads quite long, so that means one length of thread can cover quite a lot of stitches, but with the silk ones I sort of kept it on the shorter side for me anyway. So far it's been okay, and that like metallic thread was much better. So pretty much my only metallic thread experience was from kits, and so far the kits ones were horrible. This, I think it's Rainbow Gallery. This metallic thread was pretty alright. Yeah, the Petite Treasure Braid, that one was pretty pleasant to work with, and I was fairly surprised. I was expecting a lot of work to get it to lay properly, but I guess it helps that you only use one strand rather than 2. So, and what else? So I actually bought the stuff from Ginger Stitch EU, the thread drops, hoping that I could use that to manage the threads. Right now I just keep the threads how they came when I purchased them. So they're just in like this, I think I changed it. It was like a 1-inch metal ring, but now it's 3-inch. So they just come in floss away. Some of them, which are these? I think Glory. I don't even remember what the silks are called. I don't think this helps because I didn't. The Thread Gatherer. So the Thread Gatherer silks tend to come in 2. So they have their own floss away bags. And same as the... Nope, it's not the same. Oh, same as the Karen... The Karen... Is it water? Not water lily, but water something threads. But the Petite Treasure Braids, all of them are in one. And also the NPI silks, there were like multiple in one bag. So yeah, I just don't know how you manage them normally. So right now I just keep them as is. So I thought, oh, okay, if I do the floss drops, then I could just put them on drops and they look pretty as well. But then the color is on the tag. Like, what do I do with the tag if I fully dissect it and cut it? I don't know. So right now I just sort of kept it as is. but that means I have to figure out like which color is in which bag. So that took time, and also I need to sort of take out a bit of length and then put it back on afterwards. So this whole thread experience took a lot of time. Yeah, that just made the whole experience quite unpleasant. So if you have experience with like stitching silks, maybe give me some advice how you manage the threads, because right now I got no clue. Yeah, if I can somehow manage them properly, I'm thinking the progress will be much better, because right now, whatever you saw, that teensy tiny little progress was 5.5 hours of stitching, which is really pathetic, to be honest. And I stitched for 4 days on this. Oh yeah, so this is 5.5 hours. And it's really, really small. Oh, I should have said. So the whole thing is stitched on 32 count, I think, white linen. I think it's white linen. And I think that's the end of this one. And then, so this is the third project I worked on. And then the next one I'm going to show you is the last project of the month. And it is another new start. So yes, I worked on 4 things. One, decided to pretty much finish it and be done with it, and the rest was all new starts. So originally I was going to name this video the shortest Christmas in July, because I decided to stop that jingle pause, but because of this project, Christmas in July extended a little bit. Now this is Dimensions Gold Petite, Christmas on the Beach. I think I got this last year, maybe around Christmas or just before. So I'm Chinese. I was born in Dalian, which is a coastal city, and it's like on the northeast of China. So we have winters. And when I say we have winters, I meant like the full-blown minus, 5 to 10 degrees, although now it's colder, like 10 to 15 degrees, and we had ice, we had snows and stuff. But most of my Christmas experience was in Australia, so summer Christmas. So I can't quite relate with most of the Christmas patterns on the market, because it's all snow and people playing with snows and sleighs and little cabins and stuff. So I was on the hunt for like a summery Christmas pattern for a while, until I saw this Christmas on the beach, and I just knew I had to have it. So I thought, okay, Christmas in July, and this is pretty much the only solid Christmas project I have left that I haven't started. Then I decided to just start it. I prepared the threads like this, and this is how Laura taught me, because before I was literally just dealing with the threads how they came. But yeah, she told me she would do like the hole punching and just loop them on the other side. And this way, if you do have leftover threads, you can also loop them over. Whereas before I was kind of just wrapping here, and sometimes they would fall off. Yeah, so it's a lot easier to manage. And because I had finished a couple of sort of Dimensions Petites before, and I had leftover threads, so it's sort of like a habit to go through the threads to see whether I could transfer some of the like same colors over to this one. Unfortunately, there are not a lot, but I think I ended up doing it for about 3 colors, which was all right. They're not, for example, I think I transferred this one. Not sure whether you could tell, but the colors weren't exactly the same. Most of them were, but this particular one seemed a little bit different. I can't, maybe this one was the older one, this one was the new one. So the older one's slightly lighter, but I didn't really care because it's quite subtle. So yeah, I would try to use the older threads first before moving on to the threads that the new kit came with. And hopefully eventually it will, I guess, make the leftover thread collection a bit less. But yeah, that's my process of preparing for like a gold dimensions gold kit. And what can I tell you? Okay, better show you the progress. So this is stitched on, I think 18 count. Yeah, this is stitched on 18 count white Aida. Mostly 2/1, but it has a lot of half stitches. So this is my progress. You can see there's a lot of tree, and yeah, there's a lot of the sky and the sea, and pretty much the whole upper part is all half stitches. I was really enjoying stitching the tree all together, but I also knew there was going to be a lot of monotonous half stitches, so I sort of just bounced in between. And yeah, I use basket weave method, so that's the back, and the back looks like this, which is pretty satisfying to look at. So that's it, and that's not the whole length of the project. I think the project might be ending about here. So yeah, and that's it. So that kind of makes the Christmas in July a lot more fun. Maybe do it this way. I still don't know like what kind of photo I would use as the thumbnail yet. But yeah, so I really enjoyed stitching on this. When it was like 31st of July, I really didn't want to change project, but I thought, there are so many projects, like other projects to work on. I'll have to just whip it out in December. But if I feel like stitching it earlier, like in November or something, I'll still stitch on it. But yeah, the star. You see the star? The star's done. So that's very cute. There's gonna be a lot of beige as well, like the sand. So eventually I'll have to get on that because it looks like there's a lot of sky, water and sand, and only a little bit of the actual tree. So the exciting tree and the gifts down below. And with this one, I managed to get the saga file from Laura, so I could track it a lot easier. And I only use the, what is it, like the color key section on the chart. And then the rest I just rely on the saga file. And let me pop it back. And this project is in a new project bag as well that I recently got, this watermelon one, which I thought would be pretty fitting because Christmas, very, very colorful. And this project, I worked on it for 3 days, 5.5 hours, and I stitched 550 stitches, and it's at 5.77%. And overall, this whole month of July, I stitched 13 days, which was pretty sad. Altogether 27.5 hours. And normally what I do after like I finish a stitching session is to put it onto the calendar on my phone to say, okay, from this time to this time I stitched this. And I'll probably do like a little, like a photo of this snip here to show you how sad the calendar looked, because especially the first couple of weeks, the stitching days were so sparse and spread, like widespread. It's like one day here and then the next day, 4 days later, there's another stitching day and stuff like that. Mainly because the first 2 weeks, yeah, the other person that worked with me in the office went on holiday, so it wasn't like overtime central, but it was close, so I had to do a lot of overtime. So then you just got really tired afterwards and didn't want to do anything. And yeah, so that's the whole WIP or new starts update, I guess, this month in particular. Then it's plans. So I don't think I worked on bunnies last month either. Did I? But this whole month I didn't work on bunnies, which was my focus piece this year, because I really want to get it done by the end of the year and gift it out. So in August, I really need to get a crack on and do a decent chunk on it. Preferably, you know, reach 85 or more than 85%. So yeah, we'll see how I get on with that. And the next thing I really want to go back on, or I have to force myself sort of to go back on, it's Spring Will Come by Artisy. I feel like this year I kept talking about this project but never really worked on it for much. It's just one of those things where if you don't work on it, you just don't want to work on it. So I guess to get it started again, I really got to force myself. But once I get going, I think I'll enjoy that one again. Yeah. Considering like in September, it's Mid-Autumn Festival. And that chart is pretty much the legend of Mid-Autumn Festival. So it will be quite fitting to work on it August and September. And then last time when I saw you, I said I wanted to start reorganizing my cross stitch, especially accessories. I haven't started that yet. I'm hoping to get a couple more extra days off this month, like in August, for JP's birthday. So maybe I would have a bit more time to do that, but I'm not sure yet. Hoping to do it bit by bit, maybe. Yeah, it's a bit hard because August is really busy. A lot of the weekends are already planned out, like doing things. So, and then I made a post like maybe last week, asking whether you guys want to see like a stitch with me or not. And I realized the language I used was a bit ambiguous. I said in the meantime, as if in between this post and this like update video, I would give you a video. Not really. So I'm planning to film this stitch with me in August at some point if I get an opportunity to. And considering I bought like a couple of new gadgets that I've never used before, I'm thinking maybe I could try it out in the video and we can see whether these new gadgets are useful or not. Because I think one comment did say, oh, sort of curious to see whether this, you know, will be helpful, because, you know, I kind of was interested to buy something like that. So I thought that might be helpful if I could show you and try it out in a video. And then you can also see whether it makes a difference or whether it makes my life easier. And maybe we could talk about coffee or coffee culture, like in Melbourne, like how crazy sort of people are into caffeine, especially around us. Yeah, I thought that might be a pretty fun topic. Haven't decided which project I'll work on for the video yet, because yeah, it's gonna be sort of like an easy to do one, preferably. But knowing me, I tend to make my life hard, so maybe at the time I'll just whip out something that's really hard and then I have to frog in the video as well. Who knows? And I think that's pretty much the end of stitching related content. And if you don't care about life updates at all, I'll just bid you goodbye here. Otherwise, now it's the chapter for life updates. Yeah, first thing to address. There you go, new hair. Yeah, I got it done end of July. This is like a new hairdresser a bit further, like half an hour away from me. And I think this is the first time I really went to like an Asian hairdresser as well, which is surprising considering Asian hair. You would think to go to an Asian place, but we never really lived in like an Asian suburb, so it's a bit of a travel normally to go to an Asian place, so I just ended up, you know, going to whatever's close. Yeah, it was like a night appointment from 5 o'clock and we finished 11:30 at night, which was pretty bonkers. She was a little Korean lady and her English wasn't great, but I mean the results, all right. It's a bit unexpected. I was hoping to go lighter to blend in with the grays, but she said it's too hard. Well, she didn't even consider it, to be honest. She just said it's hard to bleach. We bleached like a little bit for some highlights, but this is like just a dark red, which covered the grey pretty effectively. Although it's only been like a week, I already saw bits of grey coming out. I don't know whether it's like a good thing or a curse, but my hair grows quite fast. So yeah, we'll see how long this like non-grey situation will last. She also did like layers and she got rid of some of the thickness, so my hair doesn't seem as thick as before. But I'm slightly worried what it will look like once it grows out, because it might just go but yeah, so far I quite like it, and she, like, her price was so reasonable. I was shocked at how cheap it was. I was used to, because my previous hairdresser, rather than like list the price for individual service, it's pretty much like a style is $350. This lady charged $250, which also included the haircut and stuff. So I thought that was great. So depending on how this, I guess, lasts, if it lasts all okay, then I'll go back to get a touch up or whatever. And several months ago, there was the car situation with JP's car, and he literally got it back yesterday. So I had to sort of drive him around for 3 weeks, which was very tiring for me because I hate driving. but I pretty much just like in the morning I had to drive him to the station. But yeah, I'm glad this whole Uber driver situation has finally come to an end, and we were both very happy with the car. And yeah, it was cheaper than the initial quote, like the initial dodgy quote. But we did have to sort of fork out like $3,000 in the end, which could be worse, I suppose. The mechanics was really nice, and he was explaining like where he kind of helped us save money and used whatever was there rather than buying new parts. And yeah, I guess because I scratched my car like quite a few years ago, and I just kind of left the damage there. And maybe I will go to this mechanics to get it fixed up as well when I'm ready. So that was good. And I had like toothache a couple weeks ago, and it just didn't go away. So I ended up having to visit the dentist for the first time ever since I came to Australia, which was like 13 years ago. So the toothache was a molar, and I was suspecting it was related to the wisdom tooth, but I think maybe not now. And then the dentist ended up like doing a clean just around this area, and yeah, for like a week and a half I couldn't chew on this side. And then he told me to come back in 2 weeks to see how everything's healed up, and then he would have to like clean everything else, which I did follow up. And yeah, it was very unpleasant doing like the tartar clean, because he said there's a lot of tartar in between my teeth. And that kind of really exacerbated the gum situation. So I have like pretty bad gum disease, which is like the receded gum. And he said for my age, it's pretty bad. And hopefully the dental clean would sort of help the gum to grow back. Whereas before there was a lot of tartar and the gum didn't have the room to come back. So I would have a 3 months follow up again just to see whether the gum has grown back. If not, I would have to be referred to an orthodontist, which hopefully I don't have to be, because that's going to be really expensive. I think the moment specialists are involved, the bills stack up very quick. So let's hope my poor gum can slowly heal back and you don't have to see so much teeth. But yeah, I had to do this like cervical mouthwash, which I never tasted before, but it bloody tasted disgusting. And so it's pretty much just 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾, but it affects the taste so bad. Like, I think normally it shouldn't affect the taste for so long, but for me it could affect me up to 6 hours. So everything tasted so weird until eventually this taste disturbance went away. Yeah, so now I am trying to be a good girl and protect my chompers, and we'll see what happens in 3 months. And yeah, it's JP's birthday month in August, and his birthday present was purchased yesterday. So we ended up going to like a dedicated trip to Echo and bought like a bunch of shoes. So my parents really liked Echo as well, but you wouldn't know, Echoes in China were bloody expensive. And I'm not talking, oh, they would save like $30. I'm talking no discounts, like very, very rare would they have discounts. And also each pair would have like a difference of $150 or something. So I ended up buying them like one pair each and shipped it off to China just yesterday. and I ended up getting a pair as well, and JP got his. JP has really bad, like, what's the word? Not calluses. What's your foot condition, JP?
Corn.
So JP has heaps of corns on his feet. So he requires like really good kind of shoes to prolong the time. No. To prolong like the time to visit the podiatrist. And Echo shoes really lasted quite well and was pretty nice on his feet, and the podiatrists were pretty impressed with them. So yeah, he just got a new pair yesterday. And when we went through the receipt, his pair like ended up being the most expensive, which was pretty funny. So yeah, then I also recently booked a nail appointment, I guess, like in the future. So that will be in the week of JP's birthday. I wanted to get some cool nails, but like it was really expensive. I mean, I sort of compared the prices with other nail places. This is like a, not boutique, but you know, like the nail techs that would work from home. So one of those, and this one's sort of local. It's really expensive, so it ended up being like $180. Is that the normal price? I don't know. So I'll see what the hypes are about and how she would justify charging that much. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And I'm also hoping to book some facials soon, because I'm still like trying to look after myself and doing some TLCs for myself when I can. But I'm also shocked with like the prices of facials, because last time when I did proper facial, it was quite a few years ago, like before pandemic. And at that time it was like, you know, $70, $80. But now when you look at it, some charges like $250. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm still sort of searching for some reasonable places. And yeah, hopefully I can get my facial in the next month or two. And yeah, next month, or next few months actually, will be quite busy because it's tax time. We haven't done our taxes yet. And also, I'm a pharmacist, if you don't know, and every year most of the health professionals will have to do like continuing professional development, so CPD points. Yeah, the next month or so I'll have to do that as well to make, well, it's just like a requirement to be qualified, I guess. So I have to do that. So that means I'll have less time to do what I enjoy, but more like a responsibility. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And hopefully I will still have some time to stitch and show you the progress in the next video. And that's the end. It's 5:30. I'm really hungry. I'm sure the dogs are hungry too, and we'll have to do some cooking. And that's the end of the video. If I don't get to stitch a lot next month, I hope you do, and I hope you have really enjoyed this video as usual. I thought it was going to be like a shortish video, but I guess I rambled on a lot as usual. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, and hopefully it will be the chatty stitch with me. And yeah, see ya. Bye bye.